Hello everyone, my name is Sofia Trощuk. I'm a journalist of 21st Channel, and today we will speak about one of the most important parts of this Russian-Ukrainian war. It's Russian propaganda, and we will discuss it with our guest, Raul Rebane, communications consultant. Hello Raul, nice to see you and thank you for joining us today.
Nice to speak with you.
So we will speak about I think how to deal with Kremlin's mouthpieces. But my first question is how, in your opinion, has Russian propaganda changed since February 24th?
It has certainly changed. It's more vicious, it's more angry, and I have the feeling that at the moment the reality of Russian people is totally changed to some kind of alternative or media reality. So it has changed.
How much?
I don't think very much, because where to go? I don't see any new ways. The new ways need some kind of military real victory. But it's threatening with a nuclear bomb is everyday thing. For example, yesterday, I saw the story how the planes are training to throw nuclear bombs to Poland and Baltics. So this is nothing new anymore. Not very much changed, just more angry.
But it's our new reality, So sometimes we see that Russian propagandists change their rhetoric according to the Kremlin's statements. In your opinion, what is the main danger now coming from Russian propaganda?
To be very honest, I think we are all used to what's going on. It's 8.5 months almost. I don't think that very much people believe in reality what they are talking. And even there are changes in Europe that RTI is not believed in RT. I mean, all these things, the naivety is gone. So it's maybe some kind of inside Russia story. Outside of Russia, I don't see it. For example, in Estonia, we had a kind of big TV war in January, February, and we managed to shut down the main Russian propaganda channels. And there was a big protest against it, but still we have people who watch these channels. And there is certainly interest to see them. People use VPN and other technical things to see it. But I don't think it's so dangerous. We have a lot of opinions at the moment. We have to consider that Estonia has at the moment 60,000, a little bit more, Ukrainian refugees, which mean that, can you imagine, 1/3 part of the Russian population is by service supporting Putin. 60,000 Russian refugees, which is almost 5% of the Estonian population. But the real thing is that the state and the majority of the people have decided that we have to help Ukraine as much as we can. So the voice of the Putinists, it's not very much heard at the moment. And I think very similar stories in most countries.
How to eradicate propaganda, first of all, in European society, in Estonia, in Ukraine, and in other countries?
Europe is democracy, and to ban something, it must be very special situation. War is definitely the special situation. And I really think that the biggest part to get down the influence of this propaganda has done by propagandists themselves. Because if somebody has seen 5 minutes what they're talking about, so outside of Russia, they immediately understand what it is. And from my point of view, social media has done a great job. They have distributed the most terrible stories and opinions what Russian media is talking about. And this has clearly the strong influence. Otherwise, before war, we had a situation that people were talking about Russian propaganda, but young generation of Estonia don't speak any more Russian, most of them, and they have never seen it. But because of war now, this is translated and this is in social media, so it's now more obvious what's going on.
Let's talk a little bit about Ukraine. So the information aspect is very important, yeah, in hybrid war. And do you think Ukraine is currently losing or winning this information confrontation?
You know, I'm following the information war things probably almost 30 years. And I'm very grateful to Ukrainian scientist Georgy Potsepsov. I think I have probably 25 of his books. But this war is quite different because the loser of the war was clear from the very first second of the war, and it's Russia and it's Putin. It doesn't matter what Putin is doing in the future, and it doesn't matter what he's saying in the future. His myth, his story, his narrative is already gone. It's over. And he can't get it back, which means that the war has changed the basic Russian narrative. Nobody believes anymore that the Russian army is invincible and the Kiev will take in 2 days and Tallinn in half a day. Nobody will believe anymore that Putin is a great strategist. Nobody will believe anymore that Russian soldier is a liberator because his image is now Bucha. And what did Putin more is that the basis of identity of Russia is now it's even in constitution. It's Great Patriotic War. Actually, Putin lost Great Patriotic War because he changed it to Ukrainian war. It's much closer. It's very bloody. It's very emotional, and the other one is somewhere 75, 80 years ago. So this change has been enormous, and Ukraine has already won, and Ukraine is doing a great job. I try to find the stories in social media which is supporting Russia. Of course, I found them. But if I compare these stories to the narratives which are produced by these people who are supporting Ukraine, this is huge difference. In quality, in content, the Ukrainian stories are much stronger. So I think in this field, Ukraine has nothing to afraid of.
But many Russians today still believe Russian propaganda. Is there any way to change it? Do you believe that they are not completely lost?
To change opinion of the people is fast, is very difficult. But you know, people in my age, we have a certain experience. And the experience is from 80s, when economy changed ideology. And people's life was so miserable that one pair of jeans were more worth than all Communist Party congresses together. I really think that this process is now underway, which means that the economical life sanctions slowly will influence on ideology. And then we don't need such a strong propaganda or information field, because life is changing ideology. And this is some kind of my dream that it will happen. And which means that if people say that sanctions are nothing and it doesn't influence, I think is wrong. This is very important, and of course, together with the financial and military help to Ukraine.
But in your opinion, why do they believe? So Russian propaganda is a little bit strange, I can say, yeah? It's like lie and lie and lie, no truth, and just all about Russia is winning, yeah? But it's not. So why people believe Russian propaganda?
Because they want to. They want to believe, because this is actually the narrative for several hundred years. And all this technology is nothing new. It's worked out already 90 years ago. And everybody who has read the Hitler Germany Goebbels theories know that this is going on, and in a lot of countries, actually. It's not in Russia. It's right-wing populists. We see it every day in Estonia and other countries. It's the theories and practice of reprogramming of nation with help of communication. It's nothing new. So we see it all the time. We just have to be informed that these kind of things exist. So I really think that people who believe it, real Putin is, this is not quick process, but it's going on.
So now Russia is really being compared to Nazi Germany, and propaganda in some aspects is very similar, but one of Hitler's chief mouthpieces, Joseph Goebbels, committed suicide as the Reich collapsed, and many of his other supporters fled, yeah? In your opinion, what do you think will be with Russian propagandists in the future?
So far as Putin in the power, I don't think nothing will happen, and they will be okay. When the power will change, then I don't really envy their fate. We have saying in Estonia that money gun, little gun, health gun, much gun, honor gun, all gun, which means that they don't have honor anymore if they had any in the past. And I don't see any new structure where their power will be like it is right now. So what to suggest, I don't even know. I remember the movie Forrest Gump. And when Putin is gone, then I think the words what were in this movie, run, Forrest, run. It's they are quite suitable for them. I don't know what's going to really happen, but it needs change of the power.
And one more question about Putin at all. Yeah, so what kind of world does Putin live in the real one, or in what Russian propaganda talks about? What does the dictator believe in right now?
I don't know what kind of life Putin is living. But again, we have the saying in Estonia that you can get out from jail, you can't get out from the song. And I put you into song is a threat sometimes. And Putin's song is already wrong, I mean. And one is clear that attacking Ukraine, he made one of the biggest mistakes of modern political history. And as I said, whatever he's doing, it doesn't matter anymore. But sometimes, yes, we all have feeling that he and a lot of people are living some kind of in the patriotic movies of 60s, 70s, and in these days. But however, Putin gave to the world terrible lesson, and I think this is one of the most important things in Ukrainian war. It means that one person, theoretically, could solve or end the life in the world. Nor Stalin or Hitler didn't have such a power because there was no technology. Now it is a nuclear power. And it means that after the war, all the world has to work to make a minimum the possibility that one dictator could destroy the million years life in the earth. And this is actually theoretical possibility at the moment.
For Ukrainians, this war is really like another historical lesson. How in the future, after the end of this war, not to repeat the mistakes of today, when we all sometimes believed Russian propaganda?
In my childhood, I worked 20 years in Estonian television, but the most famous sentence in Estonian television history happened 50 years ago, more than 50 years ago, before my time. And the weather lady in the news program, she explained that strong wind and probably even storm coming from east. And then added that, as we know, for Estonia, nothing good ever came from east. In the same second, this sentence became a legend and still is. February 24th proved that it's actually true. And what we see, we have to be ready for information attacks. We have to be prepared. And actually, we have to have the ability to fight back. We have to have national narrative, the big story, the national dream, which unites people. And this is exactly what you feel probably right now in Ukraine. And if we remember the years 86 to 91, when Estonia and a lot of other countries got independence, so this was absolutely unique feeling, and it's so far. So these are the really practical things. What is we have to follow, and we have to follow processes in Russia, understand what's going on there. From my point of view, it's now extremely difficult time in Russia because we are living in a time when empire is turning to be a state, ordinary state, but it's almost impossible for Russian people to understand that for centuries, everybody has said that we are the biggest, the most beautiful, the smartest, and so on. And now we can't be ordinary. And the Ukrainian war, by my understanding, is the phantom pain of losing empire. And this is a practical action of this pain that empire is going, because other countries are growing and everything happened in the world. So big national narrative, and of course we have to have military power and all these kind of things. It's quite clear that it's the countries which have the border with Russia, must every day think to keep the independence, because now it's under threat. And at the moment, Ukraine, by my understanding, is doing the most important thing in the world. It's fighting for her self-independence and for the independence of many countries, including Estonia.
I really believe it will be historical lessons, this Russian-Ukrainian war, not just for Ukrainians, also for another countries, like our friends. And in this interview, I wanna say a thank to all people from Estonia that help Ukraine. Yeah, it's very kind. And here in Ukraine, we are really a little bit happy that we have not just enemies, yeah, also like friends. So, Raul, thank you for the interview and for your advices, and I hope we'll meet again. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it was our conversation on 21st channel about the danger of Russian propaganda. I hope it was useful for you. So thank you for your attention and see you soon.